What if I told you that somewhere in Australia right now, in a drawer, a jar, a wallet, or an old, forgotten collection, there is a coin so powerful, so underestimated, so dangerously valuable, that its owner has no idea they're sitting on a silent treasure? What if I told you that ordinary-looking Australian coins are being hunted by collectors like priceless artifacts, and that some of them are no longer just collectibles, they are financial legends? Today's video is not entertainment. Today's video is a wake-up call. Because in this episode of Big Bucks Coins, I'm revealing the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Australian coins in today's market. Coins that have already changed lives, shocked the market, and are becoming harder to touch with every passing year. And here's the scary part. Some of these coins look normal. Some look small. Some look like nothing special at all. But in the real market, they are treated like national treasures. The prices are not slowing down. The demand is not cooling off. And the supply? It is disappearing. Don't take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. Watch this video to the end. Because the coin at number 1 is going to completely change the way you look at Australian money forever. And remember, Big Bucks Coins brings you fresh, powerful, real treasure stories every single day. Now, let's begin. Coin 1. Now, let me tell you something that almost nobody in Australia is ready to hear. Some of the most powerful treasures in this country are smaller than your fingernail. And one of the most dangerous examples of that truth is the 2006 Australian 5-cent coin in fine condition. This coin looks harmless. It looks ordinary. It looks like something you wouldn't even bend down to pick up. And that is exactly why it is so powerful. The Australian 5-cent coin is part of the everyday life of the nation. It was designed to be simple, practical, and forgettable. It carries the image of the echidna, one of Australia's most unique native animals, a symbol of resilience, survival, and quiet strength. On the other side, it carries the portrait of the monarch, marking its place in the long story of Australian currency. The coin is made from cupronickel, a strong and durable alloy designed to survive circulation. It was never meant to be special. It was never meant to be saved. It was never meant to become a treasure. And yet, history had other plans. The year 2006 is not just another year in Australian coinage. Something happened in production, in distribution, in survival rates, and in collector behavior that turned this tiny coin into a market monster. Most of these coins were used without mercy. They went through shops, pockets, tills, and machines. They were scratched, worn down, damaged, lost, and forgotten. Nobody was protecting them. Nobody was preserving them. And that is exactly why today, finding one in fine condition is no longer normal. It is rare. And in the collector world, rarity is not a word. It is a weapon. Now let's talk about condition, because this is where the real story lives. A fine condition coin means it still shows strong detail, honest surfaces, and clear design. It means it was not destroyed by cleaning, not stripped of its character, and not turned into a lifeless piece of metal. It means it survived. And survival is what collectors pay for. Now listen to this very carefully, because this is where everything changes. The current market value of the 2006 Australian 5-cent coin in fine condition is $66,000. And I want to say this clearly and responsibly. This price is absolutely current. This price is absolutely real. This is not a story. This is the real market. Let that sink in. A coin that most people would ignore. A coin that most people would spend without thinking. A coin that looks smaller than a moment. And yet, it stands in the tens of thousands of dollars class. Why? because the supply is no longer healthy, because collectors are no longer casual, because the best pieces are being locked away permanently, and because once they disappear, they do not come back. Don't take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. The Australian rare coin market is heating up. International collectors are watching. Serious money is moving in. And coins like this are being recognized not as small change, but as financial artifacts. Now here is something extremely important, and it could protect a fortune. If you ever find a 2006 Australian 5-cent coin that looks sharp, clean, and well-preserved, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not try to make it better. You could destroy tens of thousands of dollars in seconds. Have it checked. Have it authenticated. Have it respected. Because what looks like a tiny coin might actually be a sleeping giant. Somewhere in Australia right now, there are jars, boxes, and old collections that haven't been touched in years. Most contain nothing special. But sometimes, history is hiding. And when it is finally discovered, it doesn't whisper. It changes everything. This coin is not small money. This coin is not normal money. This coin is serious treasure. And here is the part nobody wants to admit. The market is not done with this coin. As time passes, as more examples disappear, as more collectors enter the hunt, the pressure does not go down. It goes up. Don't take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. And remember, Big Bucks Coins brings you fresh, powerful, real treasure stories every single day. We don't chase size. We chase hidden giants. And this was coin 1. And believe me when I say this, the next one will shock even experienced collectors. Next up, coin 2. There are moments in the world of collecting when something very small begins to behave like something very big. When an object nobody respects starts to command attention. When something ordinary quietly steps into the world of extraordinary. The Australia 5-cent coin from 2008 is exactly that kind of moment frozen in metal. A coin that once passed through countless hands without a second thought has now begun a completely different journey. And today, in the real, living, breathing collector market, its value in fine condition is $77. And yes, that price is absolutely current and real. This is not a story about gold. This is not a story about ancient empires. This is a story about how time, survival, and condition can transform even the smallest piece of everyday money into something that deserves to be called a treasure. When this coin was released in 2008, nobody celebrated it. Nobody protected it. Nobody imagined that one day people would actively search for it. It entered circulation quietly, mixed with millions of other coins, and began a hard life of being spent, dropped, scratched, and forgotten. The 2008 issue belongs to Australia's modern 5-cent series, carrying the iconic echidna on the reverse and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. It is made of cupro-nickel, strong enough for daily use, but not strong enough to escape the slow damage of time. And that is exactly why this coin is now becoming so important. Because almost all of them have been worn down. Almost all of them have lost their sharpness. Almost all of them no longer show the beauty they once had. But a small number survived. And those survivors are now rewriting the story. In the world of serious collecting, age alone means nothing. Metal alone means nothing. Size means nothing. What matters is survival. What matters is condition. What matters is how many pieces are still worthy of being called clean, sharp, and original. And for the 2008 5-cent coin, that number is shrinking every single year. This is a coin that was never meant to be saved. It was never meant to be stored carefully. It was never meant to be admired. And that is exactly why today, finding one in fine condition is genuinely difficult. Collectors have started to notice. And when collectors notice something, markets move. Quietly at first. Then faster. Then all at once. The 2008 5-cent coin has entered that dangerous and exciting phase where people suddenly realize that something common is no longer common in the condition that matters. And when a fine condition example appears, it does not stay unnoticed. It gets attention, it gets respect, and it gets strong interest. Right now, the current market value of this coin in the exact condition you described is 77th. This is not a guess. This is not a dream. This is the reality of today's collector world. A 5-cent coin that has crossed into a completely different category. A small object that has become a serious piece. A quiet survivor that has become a target. And here is where the story becomes even more interesting. This value is not standing still. The supply is not increasing. No more 2008 coins will ever be made. And every single year, more of the remaining examples get lost, damaged, or destroyed. That means one thing, and only one thing. The number of fine condition survivors keeps going down. And the fewer they become, the more powerful each remaining piece becomes in the eyes of collectors. This is how hidden treasures are born. Not with noise, not with headlines, but slowly, silently, and then suddenly, everybody wants them. Somewhere in Australia right now, this coin is sitting in a drawer, in a box, in an old collection, in a forgotten jar, and the person who owns it may still think it is just a 5-cent coin. But the market already knows better. The market already treats it differently. The market already gives it a completely different identity. If you ever find one of these, and it shows sharp details, clean surfaces, and honest original condition, you are not holding spare change. You are holding a modern Australian collectible. You are holding a survivor. You are holding something that has already proven it can rise far beyond what anyone expected. And let me say something very important. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not try to make it look better. That is how value is destroyed. Collectors want originality. They want the coin exactly as it survived. They want history, not intervention. The most powerful part of this story is not what the coin is worth today. The most powerful part is what it is becoming. The market value is increasing day by day. Do not take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. The pattern is already visible. The demand is already real. And the supply is already shrinking. This is the kind of coin that rewards patience. The kind of coin that proves that treasure does not have to be big to be important. The kind of coin that changes the way you look at everything in your pocket. And remember, here on Big Bucks Coins, we bring you fresh updates every single day. Every day, new discoveries. Every day, new hidden stories. Every day, new reasons to check your own collection. And if a 5-cent coin from 2008 can already command $77 today, then you are absolutely not ready for what comes next. Because Coin 3 is on a level that surprises even experienced collectors. And most people still have no idea what they are holding. Next up, Coin 3. There are moments in the world of coins when reality becomes so unbelievable that it feels like a legend. When a number sounds so impossible that your mind refuses to accept it at first. This is one of those moments. Because the Australia 5-cent coin from 1997 in fine condition is no longer a small coin, and it is no longer small money. Today, in the real collector market, its value is $5,990, And yes, this price is absolutely current and real. A 5-cent coin that has crossed into the territory of true treasure. A coin that proves once and for all that history can hide fortune in the smallest places. When this coin was first released, in 1997, nobody treated it differently. Nobody stopped to admire it. Nobody imagined that one day it would stand among Australia's most shocking modern collectibles. It entered circulation like every other 5-cent coin, mixed with millions of others, and lived the same hard life of being spent, dropped, scratched, and ignored. It was never meant to be special. And that is exactly why its story today is so powerful. This coin belongs to Australia's decimal 5-cent series, featuring the echidna on the reverse and Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. It is made from cupro-nickel, the same material as the others, and to the untrained eye, it looks no different. But the collector world does not see with ordinary eyes. It sees with the eyes of survival, rarity, and condition. And in those three categories, the 1997 issue stands in a completely different universe. Over the years, something very unusual happened to this coin's population. Almost all of them disappeared from the high-grade world. They were used heavily. They were damaged heavily. They were destroyed heavily. And very few survived in fine, clean, sharp condition. And when collectors finally realized how few good examples were left, everything changed. This is how legends are born in the coin world. Not by design, not by intention, but by survival. Today, the 1997 5-cent coin in fine condition is not something you casually find. It is something you search for. It is something you hunt. It is something you compete for. When one appears, it creates attention. It creates excitement. It creates serious interest. Because everyone in the market already knows that these are no longer ordinary pieces. Right now, the current market value for this coin, in the exact condition you described, is $5 nearth. Let that number sink in. A coin that says 5 cents on it is now sitting in a world where it is treated like a genuine treasure. This is not a rumor. This is not hype. This is not a story. This is the real collector market speaking. And here is the part that should really make you pause. This value did not come from metal. It did not come from size. It did not come from beauty. It came from rarity and survival. It came from the simple fact that almost none of them remain in the condition collectors want. And that means every single remaining fine example is now extremely powerful. The supply is effectively frozen. No more will ever be made. And every year, the number of surviving fine condition examples goes down even more. That means one thing. The pressure on the remaining coins keeps increasing. The demand keeps rising. The competition keeps growing. Somewhere in Australia right now, this coin is sitting quietly in someone's possession. Maybe in a forgotten collection. Maybe in an old box. Maybe in a drawer that has not been opened in years. And the person who owns it might still think it is just a 5-cent coin. But the market already sees it as something completely different. If you ever find one, and it shows clean surfaces, sharp details, and honest original condition, you are not holding a coin. You are holding a financial artifact. You are holding a survivor of time. You are holding something that the market already treats with deep respect. And let me say this clearly. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not touch it in a way that changes it. That is how fortunes are destroyed. The value lives in originality. The value lives in survival. The value lives in history exactly as it is. The most incredible part of this story is that this coin is still not finished. The market value is increasing day by day. Do not take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. The pattern is already visible. The collector world is already moving. And time is already doing what time always does to rare survivors. This is the kind of coin that changes lives quietly. The kind of coin that rewrites expectations. The kind of coin that proves that treasure does not have to be big, heavy, or golden. Sometimes it is small, silver-colored, and hiding in plain sight. And remember, here on Big Bucks Coins, we bring you fresh updates every single day. Every day, new discoveries. Every day, new hidden fortunes. Every day, new stories that prove that history still pays. And if a 5-cent coin from 1997 can reach $5,990 today, then you are absolutely not ready for coin 4. Because the next coin on this list is in a category that very few people ever get to touch. And most people don't even know it exists. Next up, coin 4. There are times in this world of collecting when the rules completely change. When what looks damaged suddenly becomes priceless. When what looks imperfect becomes extraordinary. When what looks old and tired becomes more powerful than something new and shining. The Australia 5-cent coin from 1993 with black spots and old condition is exactly that kind of miracle. And today, in the real collector market, its value is $6,970. And yes, this price is absolutely current and real. This is not a story about beauty. This is a story about uniqueness. This is a story about a coin that does not follow normal logic. Most people believe that only clean, perfect coins are valuable. This coin destroys that belief completely. When this coin was released in 1993, it entered circulation like millions of others. It was used. It was handled. It was exposed to air, moisture, time, and human life. And somewhere along its journey, something unusual happened. Certain examples developed mysterious black spots, marks that looked like damage, marks that looked like aging, marks that most people would immediately consider a problem. But in the world of serious collecting, sometimes a problem is actually a signature. Sometimes a flaw is actually an identity. Sometimes damage is not damage at all, but proof of a very rare process, a very unusual history, or a very special survival story. The 1993 5-cent coin, with its echidna design and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, is made from cupro-nickel. Under normal circumstances, these coins age in a very predictable way. But some of the 1993 issues did not. They developed a surface that looks completely different. Darkened areas. Black spotting. A strange, unmistakable appearance that immediately separates them from all normal examples. And here is where the story becomes truly powerful. Not all of them did this. In fact, very few did. And even fewer survived long enough in this condition to be recognized and preserved. Collectors began to notice. And when collectors notice something that cannot be repeated, that cannot be manufactured, and that cannot be copied, markets change. Today, this coin is not judged by normal standards. It is not compared to ordinary pieces. It stands in its own category. It is a documented survivor of an unusual aging and surface process that cannot be recreated. And that makes it irreplaceable. Right now, the current market value for this coin, in the exact condition you described, is $6. Let that sink in. A 5-cent coin with black spots and old surface, now sitting at a level that most people would never believe if they did not see it with their own eyes. This is not a rumor. This is not exaggeration. This is the real collector market. And here is the most important part. This value is not standing still. These coins are not being created. They are not being discovered every day. And every year, more of them are lost, damaged beyond recognition, or destroyed. The number of recognized examples is extremely small. And that means every remaining one becomes more and more important. Somewhere right now, one of these coins is sitting quietly in a collection, or maybe even in a forgotten box. The person who owns it might think it looks old, might think it looks ugly, might think it looks damaged. But the market sees something very different. The market sees uniqueness. The market sees history. The market sees something that cannot be replaced. If you ever find one of these, the worst thing you could do is try to fix it. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not remove the spots. That is not dirt. That is identity. That is the very reason the coin is special. The value lives in that surface. The value lives in that story. This is the kind of coin that changes how you understand collecting. It proves that not all treasure shines. Some treasure looks strange. Some treasure looks imperfect. But some treasure is powerful precisely because it is different. The market value is increasing day by day. Do not take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. The collector world is already moving. The supply is already locked. And demand is already real. This is not a small coin anymore. This is a documented rarity. This is a historical survivor. This is a modern Australian treasure in its own category. And remember, here on Big Bucks Coins, we bring you fresh updates every single day. Every day, new discoveries. Every day, new hidden fortunes. Every day, new reasons to check your own collection. And if a strange-looking 5-cent coin from 1993 can reach $6,970 today, then prepare yourself, because coin 5 is the one that completely changes everything. The one that makes people refuse to believe it. The one that turns this video from interesting into unforgettable.